is Samantha. This is episode 2 of the Khaos Kismet podcast, and this is the 4th time I have tried to record, so hopefully nothing's going to go wrong this time. The first time was child related. My smallest person's been off sick, so I tried to record during the day today, and I just couldn't. There were too many interruptions because he's poorly. The second time I tried to do it, I actually recorded an entire 45-minute episode, and when I went to play it back, all you could hear was my dog drinking her water, eating her biscuits, playing with her toys, so I scrapped that. The third time was right before this, and that my phone was just like, nope. My phone decided that even though I actually had plenty of storage to start with, I decided it was running out of storage. So we're going to try and go again. We're going to try and make it fairly brief because it is currently 11 o'clock at night. So normally I would want to record during the day, so apologies for the lighting. The lighting's not great. I have a ring light, but I tried using it and I keep getting like big circles here. It looked very weird, a little freaky, wasn't good. So we're going to try without the ring light, and hopefully in future I will be able to record during the day. And breathe. Oh dear. So if I miss anything out, it's because I have recorded this a few times already. So if I do miss anything out, you need to let me know and I will give you whatever bit of information it is that I've missed. So I say I'm going to try and keep this fairly brief. I have knitting and crocheting. I have 4 finished objects, and I have 4 reps, and 2 books and crochet hooks. So let's start with things that I have finished. The first thing and second thing kind of go together. I was doing a test crochet, and I am going to be frogging it. If you have seen on my Instagram, I put up a post the other day about stress swatching with this headband. It's a filet crochet headband. So this is the filet, and filet crochet is essentially making patterns with holes in crochet. And then these rows in between are double crochets. Trebles if you're in the UK. So I work in US terms because that's how I learned. But the problem with this is if this is the brim of the hat, there's not a lot of wiggle room and it needs to be quite tight to your head. So I had swatched, I'd received the pattern at night time and I had swatched and I'd got gauge and that was fine. So the next day I picked up the hook that I'd swatched with, went on my merry way, and I did the brim, and then I did about sort of this much of the hat, and I thought this looks quite big. So I tried it on and it was just no good, it was too big. And rather than frogging back the entire thing, I just frogged back the body of the hat, and I took out 1 repeat I think and just sewed it together, and now I have a nice pretty new headband. The hat, put it the right way around would help. This is the hat. I haven't sewn my ends in. All the crochet's done. I've done all the testing parts for it and given all my information, but I haven't sewed my ends in because I will be frogging this. There's a couple of reasons I'm going to be frogging it. I'm really trying to stop saying but I'm getting a little bit tired, so I'm sorry. So this is what the top looks like. It's quite nice. And the body, and then the brim. Now, on the pattern, it has you using the same hook all the way up, which I'm not awfully keen on. I always think the brim should be done with a smaller hook than the body. The brim is done as a strip and then you join it. I don't know if you can see, she has used a join as you go, which has left me with a raised lump there, and then this line, because she also has you doing chain 1 and then do a round. So for me personally, I don't like that. It's not something that I think fits me particularly well. It might just be the way that I've made it. I don't know. I did have to, for the height that she'd asked for the hat, I actually had to add an extra 10 rows in the body, even though I had row gauge. So I don't know. This is the actual hat pattern. So it's not been released yet. Let's see. It's Soleil Knits. Oh, there we go. So that the pattern hasn't actually been released yet. The pattern is written fine. There's absolutely no issue with the actual pattern. It's just not, for me, it's not a style that I think suits me or looks nice on me. I like the brim to have a bit more like six on my head. But if you like a looser hat, then you might really, really like it. The yarn is a dyer that no longer dyes. It's Yorkshire Dale yarns. I used to have a yarn club from them, so I have got quite a lot of their... See, that line's really noticeable. If I was to make it again, I would definitely do it in a spiral rather than joined rows. But yeah, this is Yorkshire Dale yarns, 100% merino, so it's lovely, and I would like to reclaim the yarn for it and use it for something that I'm actually going to wear. So, this is getting frogged. But it was nice to work on. It's a very easy project to work on. As you can see, you do the brim and then it's just one stitch all the way up. So it was nice to work on. Just doesn't really suit me. Not really my thing. So that is the finished object 1 and 2. I'm keeping the headband. I'm not frogging that. I'm just frogging the hat. This is another test that I did. And this is Joyful Rounds on Etsy. And this is an all-in-one. You do the feet and you're up here and you do the arms, the snout, the ears separate. And look at the tail. There's a tail. So you do the tail separate as well. The dungarees and the headband are removable. Obviously, if you want to sew them on and keep them on, you can. But as the pattern is written, they are removable. Super easy pattern. I started this yesterday afternoon. I could have finished it last night, but I didn't. It was very, very easy to do. Very well written pattern. So it's a test, so it's not out yet, but I will try and remember to link it below. Try and remember to link our Etsy shop so that when it is released, then you'll be able to find it and get it. Absolutely adorable. I'm not sure what to do with it. Right, Etsy shop. I'm aware I'm talking really fast at the moment. I'm sorry, I will try and slow down. For an Etsy shop, at the moment I have 4 different shops. And I want to reduce that. Do you think that having a shop that has crochet in it, which is things like, I mostly do accessories, so hats, shawls, gloves, I also do blankets, and like from baby blankets up to whatever size. But I'm thinking about putting my amigurumi in there as well. But I don't know, because my original thinking was I don't want to put because the amigurumi are meant to be for show, they're not meant to be for toys, and I didn't want to put them in there alongside things like baby blankets. However, I don't know. The other thing, one of my other shops is where I do like sewing and cross stitch and embroidery. And I wanted to maybe have it all in the same shop. What's your opinion on that? If you go to look in a shop and they have lots of different crafts, is that off-putting? As long as everything's sectioned off properly, is that off-putting? Or would you rather, if you go to a shop, it just has just yarn stuff, like just crochet knitting or just sewing stuff. I don't know. I think I would quite like to have all my stuff in one shop because it would be a lot easier. And maybe two shops, because one of my shops have got more like alternative themed things, which doesn't fit in, which is why it's in a separate shop. But I think I would rather have it maybe down to two shops rather than four. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it's okay to have things like knitting and crocheting in the same shop with sewing? Because my sewing is things like project bags or things for the house, like cushions and wall hangings and stuff like that, and quilts. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. That was a huge tangent. I'm sorry. So yeah, this Joyful Round I will link below. Lovely pattern, really easy. If you're like a beginner, honestly, if you're a beginner to amigurumi and you're looking for something that's just maybe the next step up, then the patterns in here are very well written. And the last finished object that I have is from last week. I have the jumper, which is now finished. It is washed. It is now drapey. It's lovely and soft. I wish I knew what the yarn was, but I don't know it, because I had originally started making this for my middle son, who is now far too big for it, so it's now for my 8-year-old. And I think I had everything done apart from maybe about that much and then a bit of ribbon. But he's been wearing it inside out because he prefers the purl side. So he prefers this fabric. It's really hard to show it. He prefers this fabric to the stockinette fabric. But it's seamless. And it's just a V-neck top-down raglan, so there are no seams, no tags. If he wants to wear it inside out, he can wear it inside out. As long as he's happy. As long as he's wearing it and it's keeping him warm. That is the main thing. So that is it for finished objects. So whips. The only whip that I'm carrying over from last week is this little scrunched up mess. I did not put a progress keeper in because that would have been useful. It doesn't really look like I've worked on it because it's all still very scrunched up on the needles. You can't really see it because it's all very scrunched up on the needles. But I'll show you an actual picture of what it's going to look like when it's finished, and that will be much, much better. Let's see. There we go. And this is another test that I'm doing. After I'm finished this, that's it. I'm having a little bit of a break from tests for a while because I've been doing quite a lot of them recently and I want to get on with doing my own stuff. But this is a lovely pattern. It's the Electric Squeeze by Lena Matheson. Can you see? I'm trying to not get glare on it. Yeah, it's super easy. The top part of it is oh sorry, not the camera. The top part of it is stockinette, and then the sleeves, where you split it for the sleeves, you literally then just do ribbon, so you get the nice little puff on the sleeves, and then the bottom part is ribbed. So I'm not sure. I'm using this for it. It's Cascade Heritage. The colour is 5614. There you go. And it's lovely. It's soft. It's squishy. I'm hoping I can get away with two skeins, but I am very tall and curvy, so I might need to break into a third one. We shall see. I'll try it on after two and see what happens. So I've got the dog line here, and she thinks she's the size of a chihuahua, and she's really, really not. Like, if you've seen my Instagram, you have seen the size of the dog. I mean, she's not huge, she's not like a Great Dane or anything, but she's definitely not chihuahua sized. She takes up quite a bit of room. Right, next on the whips, let's have a wee drink. So because I'm recording at night time as well, you get my Mickey. Oh dear. This is Richard. He's my newest plushie. Ooh. Stay. It's a bit of a thing. Me and my partner, our love language is gifts. So we send each other, we'll have like entire conversations on WhatsApp in just gifs with no words. And if you gif, you will recognise this. So I've got this one. He bought me this one. I made him, there's a white one that goes with it as well. So this is the boy one and the white one's the girl one. And I made him the white one. Ooh. But he doesn't crochet, so he bought one. I'm finding so many tangents. I am so sorry. Right, so I'm just looking for my next whip. Let's see if it's the right way around. Is this. This is going to be a scarf. There will be a hat that goes with it. It will look... Ooh. It will look like this. It's a free pattern on the Sardar website. And I literally, they sent me an email with that picture and I thought, oh, that looks nice. So I bought the yarn, which is Hayfield Bonus DK. It's 100% acrylic and this is in magenta. And I'm just doing it on the called for needles, which are 4mm, I think. Maybe. Yes, 4mm. Now, normally I prefer to use wooden needles, but I have these metal ones because I'm using my 4mm for something else, for my wooden ones. These are the ones that I normally use, which are the Knit Pro Symphonies. Don't know if you can see. Ooh. Can you see? It's the rainbow ones. And that's normally what I use all the time, is the wooden ones, because they just feel nicer in my hands. These ones, metal ones, feel cold and, yeah, cold and noisy. So that's the scarf for that. I'll probably do the hat as well and just have it as a set. But it's nice. It's just a simple broken rib pattern. You can go on there. You don't have to buy the yarn for it. You can go on the website and just get the pattern and they'll just send you the download for it. And it's just a nice, quick, easy broken rib pattern. Right, I have one last whip left. And the last whip kind of ties in with my acquisitions. Now, I know I had said I'm not going to be spending this year. However, I saw, so I'm trying to not lose my loop of my thing here. Now, I'm showing you this. I know you know what it is already. I know you can tell because it's very obvious. It is from this book here, Zoomigurumi 10. I've got I think 4 of the Zoomigurumi books and I love them. I really enjoy making amigurumis. And of course I did have the page marked before, however, that was about 3 podcasts ago. Right, here we go. I'll try and get the pattern popping up. There we go. Ruff the Squirrel. Which, of course, you absolutely knew that this was a squirrel. Like, what else could it be? My almost 11-year-old, his nickname at school is Squirrel. I have no idea why. I've tried asking him, never got a straight answer. But he likes it, so yeah, he's after getting a squirrel. So we saw this, and I saw this book on Amazon, and it was only like £7, which is quite cheap for these books. So even though I'm not going to be buying stuff, I did buy this because I know that I'll get a lot of use out of it. I want to make everything in this book. He wants one of these as well. And I want to make this. Look at that. Look at the little tongue. Is that not the most adorable thing in the world? It's lovely. This book has, you know, sometimes you get books and there'll be maybe a couple of patterns in them that you like. I literally love everything in this book. I'm trying to find the other one as well. I really, really, really want to make. Oh, here we go. Barry the Badger. Now, are badgers just a UK thing? I know that there's honey badgers, but I don't think these like black and white badgers, are they anywhere else apart from the UK? They're sort of like one of our like wildlife things. This as well. The ant. He's cute. But I don't think I've ever seen badgers anywhere else apart from the UK. Yeah. Let me know. If you don't live in the UK and you have badgers, let me know. I'm quite interested. So, yeah, that's Zoomigurumi 10. And there's the tag going around, the amigurumi book tag. And I should do it really because I make an awful lot of amigurumis. And I've got quite a lot of books. But I think I'm a little bit late for joining in on it, so I don't think I will. But yeah, I making amigurumis. I enjoy them quite a lot. Right, the last thing that I got is this, which is an Edward's Menagerie book. Now, these are the small patterns. I have never owned an Edward's Menagerie book. It's Kerry Lord. Ooh, Kerry Lord. And of Toft fame. She owns Toft. Or, I'm pretty sure she owns Toft. And I have made other Toft patterns. Like, I've made hats and cowls and things like that from them. I have never ever made an amigurumi. One of Kerry Lord's amigurumis. And this is the first time that I've owned one of the books. And it was literally, when I was on Amazon buying the Zoomigurumi one, this one popped up and it was like £8 or something. And I thought, you know what, everyone says that they're really good patterns. And they're quite cute. This one's got 50 different patterns in it. So I thought, 50 patterns for £8. You know, even if I only ever make a couple of them, that's definitely worth doing. But it does look like, and I realised after I bought the book, it does look like they are literally all the same body, arms, legs. A lot of them seem to have the same head shape as well. And then it's just they added extra bits that you put on to make them the different animals, or the colours that you use. And I think that's the reason I've never really bought any of the Kerry Lord books before, because a lot of the patterns are just very samey. But I don't know, I've not made any of them yet, so we shall see. I'll have a look. What is it that he wants now? The bunny rabbit is a bunny rabbit. I don't know where it is. 50 patterns, I'm not looking through them. But one of the boys wants a bunny rabbit. So I would... Is it a rabbit? I don't know. It's either a rabbit or a hare, and he wants that for Easter. So I shall probably give that a go, since I have the book. And yeah, that's it, I think, hopefully. I don't know how I've managed it, but this one's sitting at 25 minutes right now. The last one where I recorded the entire episode was almost 50 minutes. So I seem to have halved it, which is probably a good thing, because it means I'm doing a lot less waffling. And yeah. So yeah, hopefully next week, I'll be back next week. And what are my plans for this week? I am going to work on the electric squeeze. I am going to make the Valentine's gnome, because the gnome along cowl that's going on by Passionate Crafter. My last episode I showed you the January gnome that I had done, and this week I'm going to do the February gnome. It was supposed to come out on the 5th, but what she's actually done is there's 2 sets of gnomes for February. There's one set that's like an easy gnome, which is like a plain body with a plain hat, and then there's like little love hearts that you applique on. And then she's released another set which across the body section there's colour work, so I'm not sure which one I'm going to do yet. I might do a pair of them because it is for Valentine's Day. I don't know, I need to see what sort of time I've got. So they're on the plans for this week. What else? I just need to start clearing some stuff off. I would like to work on, I've started making socks for my partner. I don't know if I spoke about that last week or not. It was a week ago, I can't remember. But I started making socks. Oh yeah, I did, because I was complaining about his massive feet. So I haven't actually worked on his socks this week at all, and so I would like to get one of those done. It would be nice if the kids weren't poorly this week, because my smallest person has been off for 3 days this week because he's been poorly. I took him to school on Wednesday and they sent him home with me because he wasn't too well. And it wasn't that bad when he was in the house. And I don't normally send the kids to school when they're sick. It's just that he had quite a lot of time off in December and the school started complaining about the amount of time he had off. And it was just because he was sick. But I went and took him up to the school and let them see and let them decide. And they just sent him home with me. So he's been off for 3 days this week, which seriously cuts into my everything time. Because he's been like, not quite poorly enough to sleep all day, but too poorly to actually do anything. So yeah, he's bored, but he can't do anything because he's just too exhausted to do it, and it's making him cough really badly. So the dog just got off the sofa. I'm just checking to see where she's off to. She's just wandering about. She's in season at the moment, so she's having to wear her nappies. She's not the happiest about it. I mean, it could be worse. She is actually wearing them and keeping them on. Oh dear. She's now playing with her cage door. She's learnt how to open her cage door from the outside, so now she just opens it and closes it and then looks at me so that I can tell her how clever she is. And yeah, I think that might be... Oh, hooks. That was the thing that I was going to talk to you about. Right. In the UK, it's incredibly hard to get furrows hooks. So I'm going to try and keep this brief because we're now at half an hour. In the UK, it's very hard to get furrows hooks. I've only seen one shop that has them. They do not stock a full range, and they do not stock a full range of sizes, and I can't even remember what the name of the shop is. So as a general thing, if I wanted to get furrows hooks, I would... Sorry, that's the dog shaking and her tail hit off the door at the same time. I'm sorry if that was really loud. Yeah, so furrows hooks, I would need to order them from the US and pay for shipping and charges and what have you. So I was perusing on Amazon, as I do, and I came across these. Now, these are the ebony ones. This is a 4mm, and this is just fully wood, ebony, and it's about the same sort of size as a furrows hook. They're by a company called Omni, and I really, really like them. For me, I've got quite big hands, and when I crochet, I hold my hook like this. Now, what tends to happen with other hooks, let's see, do I have another hook here somewhere? Let's see. What tends to happen with most hooks when I'm holding them is if I'm holding them here, it digs into my hand here. And that's okay for a little while if I'm just maybe making a hat or a pair of gloves or something quite small and quick. If I'm working on, say, a blanket or a garment or something like that that's going to take a while, it kind of hurts. It digs in, and even with like the wider handle and those shorter hooks, my hand still gets a little bit crampy. So initially what I'd done, I started off with these hooks, as a lot of people do, just these aluminium ones, and so I still had quite a lot of these left. These are far too thin for me to just use all the time. So I had this polymer clay, and honestly, this is literally just scraps that I had from another project, and I just rolled them together, rolled them around the hook, and then just like made an indent for where my thumb goes. Make sure if you're doing this you do not cover up the size of the hook, and then just bang it in the oven and cook it like normal polymer clay, and it's fine, and it's a lot better, it's a lot easier. But then I came across these on Amazon and I thought I'll give these a go. These are £8.95 at full price. They do sometimes go on sale, but the full price of them is £8.95, which is still way cheaper than furrows. So I am absolutely not knocking furrows at all. You know, they're handmade, they're worth the money. However, because they are so difficult to get in the UK, and you not only have the expense of the hook, but they have the expense of the shipping and customs charges and things like that, these are definitely worth trying out. So this is a 4mm. If you want to go any lower than that, then they also do these ones, which has the same ebony handle. Okay, same ebony handle, but we have metal on the top. This is a 2.5, and that is what I mostly use for my amigurumi. So when you're making amigurumi, you want tight stitches. So I feel much better having the metal with the wooden handle, because the wooden handle feels nice in my hand, and it looks pretty as well. Ebony is like, it's a nice looking wood. They do other colours as well. They do, I think it's teak. It's a much lighter wood that they do. They do also have pink ones and turquoise ones, but when I started they didn't have the full range of sizes in those, so I went with the ebony because I like to collect a matching set. And yeah, I've been using them. Took a little bit of getting used to because they are bigger, longer, heavier, but for me, I spend a lot of time crocheting and I think they're definitely worth it. Even if you want to use them, get one in a size that you use quite a lot and just try it out for a bit. And then if you want to then invest in the furrows hooks, at least you know you like this style of hook. Because it's an expensive thing to get. If you're in the UK, getting furrows hooks is an investment. it's an investment that's going to be worth it, because having good tools will do you well in the long run. I apologise if you can hear my dog. She's like drinking her water and just being a pest right now. Well, stop making noise. Oh dear. So now I've ranted on about my hooks for 5.5 minutes. I am going to put them away now. Alright, and I think that is actually everything. If I've missed anything out, I apologise. If you've got any questions, down below, let me know about the Etsy shop thing, because I'm not sure what to do. Yeah, I don't know what to do about that. I will be having patterns in there at some point as well, because what I plan on doing at the moment is redoing my blog and having patterns on there for free, but then giving you the option of a paid PDF in my Etsy shop if you want. And so I don't know if that makes a difference as well. I don't know if it's going to be too much stuff in there. But yeah, let me know. And if you've managed to make it this far, thank you. Thank you for staying on. And yeah, hopefully I will see you next week with better lighting and not having to record 4 times. I've got a little bit waffly in points, and I'm hoping I haven't missed anything out. So yeah, thank you, and I shall speak to you next week. Okay, bye bye.